Welcome to Korean Cinema Channel. Today I would like to send you the following news. From the moment cameras began rolling, with love, I claim her, the second on-screen collaboration between Hae-in and Zhao's Zhendong, was destined to set the internet ablaze. Fans had already been whispering with anticipation, calling them the most dangerously sweet CP of the year, but when the drama finally dropped on October 2nd, no one was prepared for the emotional storm it unleashed. Within hours, hashtags related to the series' top trending charts, clips from their kiss scene hit millions of views, and social media was flooded with comments like "this chemistry should be illegal," and "I can't tell where the acting ends and real love begins." What makes this drama so irresistibly addictive isn't just its passionate storyline, it's the ways Hae-in and Zhao's Zhendong bring their characters to life with such raw intensity that every glance feels like a confession. Zhai, shedding her usual sweet persona, transforms into Yiying, a cool and emotionally guarded beauty whose silence speaks louder than words. Zhao, meanwhile, takes on the role of Chong, a charming yet tormented man who hides his sincerity behind a roguish smile. When their worlds collide, it's not just love at first sight, it's combustion. Every scene between them crackles with tension, pulling viewers into a slow-burning dance of desire, guilt, and redemption. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect lies in their dynamic behind the scenes. Having worked together before, Zhai and Zhao share an effortless rhythm. She anticipates his pauses, he matches HR energy. It's a connection that translates perfectly on camera, creating the kind of authenticity that no amount of scripting could fabricate. Even the director confessed during interviews, "I didn't need to tell them when to breathe together, they just did." Since its release, With Love, I Claim Her has become more than just another romance short drama, it's a cultural event. Fan edits, analysis videos, and love quotes from the show dominate every platform, while critics praise its cinematic visuals and emotionally rich performances. The lighting, the pacing, even the background score all contribute to an atmosphere that feels heartbreakingly beautiful, like watching two stars fall toward each other, knowing they might burn before they meet. And as the final episode approaches, the question on every viewer's mind isn't whether Chong and Yiying will end up together, but whether we, the audience, can ever recover from the intoxicating spell they've cast. Because when love burns this bright, it doesn't fade quietly, it leaves a mark on everyone who dares to feel it. Forget everything you thought you knew about sweet, predictable romance dramas. With Love, I Claim Her tears up the rule book and sets it on fire. This time, the story dives headfirst into the dangerous territory of obsession and emotional manipulation, wrapped in the intriguing concept of a custom-made girlfriend. What begins as a game of control slowly unravels into a tale of two broken souls, one trying to own love, and the other learning to set it free. Hae-in delivers a breathtaking transformation as Yiying, the icy yet resilient campus goddess who hides her vulnerability behind an elegant, untouchable exterior. Gone is the soft, tearful girl audiences once adored. In her place stands a woman who bleeds quietly but never boasts. Zhai doesn't play Yiying, she becomes her. Every controlled breath, every flicker of her gaze speaks volumes, hinting at the storms raging beneath that calm facade. When she finally cracks, her tears don't fall, they slice through the air like glass. Opposite her, Zhao's Zhendong brings magnetic intensity to Chong, a man whose charm conceals deep wounds. What starts as a calculated mission to approach Yiying turns into a desperate struggle between guilt and desire. Zhao portrays Lu not as a perfect hero, but as a flawed human being, a man haunted by his choices, yearning for redemption. Together, they ignite a chemistry that's nothing short of electric. One second it's tenderness, the next it's war. The push and pull between them is so real that audiences confess they forgot to breathe during their confrontations. The drama's genius lies in its tension. It refuses to spoon-feed comfort or cliché. Instead, it explores what love becomes when control, guilt, and forgiveness collide. Each episode feels like peeling back another layer of humanity, asking, do we love someone for who they are, or for who we want them to be? Visually, the show is cinematic perfection. Cold tones dominate early scenes, reflecting Yiying's emotional distance. As her walls begin to crumble, warm light slowly seeps in, mirroring her transformation. The director's deliberate use of silence amplifies every heartbeat, every inhale for a confession, every tremor of restrained emotion. And when the final kiss scene arrives, after years of pain, misunderstanding, and growth, it doesn't feel like an ending, but a rebirth. It's raw, trembling, and breathtakingly sincere. In that moment, it's no longer a story about ownership, it's about surrender. Because true love, as With Love, I Claim Her so achingly proves, isn't about possession, it's about finding the courage to let someone love you exactly as you are. To raise money for her grandmother's medical bills, Yiying, played by Zhai, takes on a desperate job as a custom-made girlfriend. She never expected that this decision would drag her into an emotional storm she couldn't escape from. When a spoiled rich heir tries to harass her, she's rescued by Lu Chong, played by Zhao's Zhendong, a man whose calm eyes hide 1,000 secrets. But just as she begins to feel safe, Lu Chong reveals his true identity, the mysterious hunter, the very client who hired her in the first place. What follows is a dangerous game of control, temptation, and emotional warfare. Lu Chong doesn't just want her to fulfill a contract, he wants her heart. Using the promise of her grandmother's medical fees as leverage, he forces her into a twisted relationship where every smile, every touch, and every word feels both real and calculated. Yet beneath his coldness lies a deep, painful tenderness, as if he's punishing himself as much as he's manipulating her. Zhao's Zhendong captures this contradiction perfectly. His Lu Chong is not the typical domineering CEO, he's a man haunted by guilt, control, and obsession. Every glance he gives Yiying feels like a silent confession, and every cruel word is laced with love he refuses to admit. Hae-in, on the other hand, delivers Yiying's gradual unraveling with exquisite precision. From defiance and fear to confusion and reluctant surrender, their chemistry is explosive. In one unforgettable scene, Lu Chong traps Yiying against the wall, his voice trembling as he says, "I don't want to hurt you, but I can't stop." It's not just passion, it's pain, longing, and madness intertwined. Viewers were left breathless, calling it the most emotionally charged scene in short drama history. As their relationship spirals deeper, the line between love and manipulation blurs. Is Lu Chong truly the villain, or a broken man begging to be loved the only way he knows how? And can Yiying ever forgive the man who both saved and destroyed her world? One thing's for sure, with Love, I Claim Her isn't just a romance. It's a psychological battlefield, a haunting reflection on how love can heal and destroy at the same time. And by the end, when Lu Chong whispers, "If I could start over, I'd still find you," every viewer will feel that bittersweet ache of love's most dangerous truth. Sometimes, the heart remembers what the mind wishes to forget. The emotional tension in this drama is nothing short of intoxicating. Every scene between Lu Chong and Yiying feels like a tug-of-war between love and restraint, a breathtaking dance where one wrong move could break everything. On the surface, Lu Chong appears controlling and dominant, but beneath that facade lies a man aching for affection, desperate for connection. In one moment that melted the internet, he clumsily begins listing his own virtues, hoping for her approval, before whispering with disarming vulnerability, "Give me a little love, just like you'd feed a dog." That single line redefined the image of the cold-hearted male lead. Zhao's Zhendong plays Lu Chong with such layered depth that viewers can't decide whether to hate him or hold him close. His eyes, dark, conflicted, and tender, speak more than any line of dialogue ever could. He isn't chasing control, he's chasing the only love he's ever known how to ask for. On the other hand, Hae-in delivers one of her most emotionally nuanced performances to date. Every tear that slips down her face carries meaning, never excessive, never hollow. Her Yiying starts out guarded, resisting his affection with quiet strength. But as the story unfolds, her walls begin to crumble. That slow transformation, from reluctant resistance to uncontrollable yearning, is portrayed with heartbreaking authenticity. Their gazes collide, linger, and tell entire stories without words. The tension is palpable, almost electric, as sweetness and sorrow intertwine until the audience can no longer tell which emotion hurts more, the ache of love or the fear of losing it. By the time the final act arrives, you're no longer watching a drama, you're feeling it pulse through your veins. Every glance, every breath, every unspoken word becomes a confession. It's not just about love, it's about surrender, redemption, and the fragile beauty of two souls learning to meet halfway. And when Lu Chong finally looks at her, eyes glistening with tears he refuses to shed, and says, "Even if you never forgive me, I'll still love you just the same," you realize, this isn't just a story. It's a wound you don't want to heal. Thank you for watching my channel. See you in the next videos. Thanks.